Raid Ryan asks over on Twitch, are all the bad reviews an exaggeration? Yeah, I think they are. I think it's just a bunch of bad faith actors who thrive on rage bait. And so that's the trend. It's the trendy thing to hate right now. So let's make lots of videos about how much Star Wars Outlaws sucks, because that makes us popular on YouTube, and we like to be popular. Star Wars fans are loving this game. Let's just put it that way. I have a forthcoming video I'm going to be recording because we did a live stream, and I'm going to go clip it out of the live stream. I got to go find where it was. We showed on screen one of the comments I got from a troll who left a ranty little comment about how I am basically I'm doing a disservice to the gaming community because of my pro Star Wars agenda by refusing to admit that Star Wars Outlaws is bad. And I'm just literally, that comment has stuck with me every day. I'm like, I got to make a video about this, because the idea that you can have an agenda. I grew up with Star Wars, right? Like, I didn't get to see it when it was in theaters. That was a few years. I was born in 1980, so the first movie came out a couple years before I was born. But I grew up when Return of the Jedi was in theaters, and it was a big thing watching the trilogy at that point when I grew up. So Star Wars has always been a part of my life. Action figures, Legos, comic books, the novels, the Ewok specials, the Christmas special, the Clone Wars stuff, the first Clone Wars versus the second Clone Wars, the extended universe stuff, the tabletop RPG stuff. I've immersed myself in Star Wars my whole life. I have been a Star Wars fan since I was a child. The idea that in 2024 my love of Star Wars has suddenly become an agenda because I'm pushing pro Star Wars agendas, I have never heard a stupider line of horseshit in my life. And when I see people ranting about how if you like this game, you're contributing to bad game dev, or you're contributing to bad Star Wars, you're contributing to Disney this, Disney the other, you're contributing to Ubisoft this, Ubisoft the other, get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. I am a Star Wars fan first and foremost. You don't get to dictate, the troll, not being you, Ready Ryan, but like the trolls of the universe. You don't get to come on to a video and tell me that I'm pro Star Wars agenda. There is no agenda with Star Wars. Star Wars is an intellectual property about a galaxy, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That's it. That's all Star Wars is. Star Wars is an entertaining piece of intellectual property which is fun to watch, to engage with, to read, to play through on video games, and consume in all its formats. We can have Legos, we can have action figures. Going back to when I was a kid, I want the Star Wars Lux, but I want the C-3PO action figure. I want the Star Wars underwear. I want the Star Wars bedspread. I want the Star Wars t-shirts. I don't have one on right now. I had one on yesterday. But like, I love Star Wars. I have loved Star Wars since I was a kid. I will love Star Wars until I am in the grave. The fact that I'm suddenly wrong for liking Star Wars? No. The person who is in the wrong is the troll who's trying to say that you're not allowed to like Star Wars because I don't like this game. Because we literally had a guy, I started to respond to him this morning. I wrote an in-depth reply, and then I was like, you know what, I'm not going to waste my time, and I just removed him from the channel. But there was somebody who left this comment about how, oh, it sucks that we're not allowed to choose and make our own character at character creation. It's bullshit because I don't want to have to play as a female. Well, guess what? You didn't have any problem when it was Cal Kestis. Why is that? Because you're scared of playing a female character? Are female characters not allowed to exist within the Star Wars universe? I loved George Lucas getting on stage at the Cannes Film Festival a few months back and literally throwing shade at all of the haters of Star Wars and telling them, for all of you who think Star Wars isn't about strong women, look at who are the leaders. Queen Amidala, Padme, Princess Leia, General Leia, Mon Mothma. These are the leaders of the rebellion, the leaders of the alliance. They are the women of Star Wars. The idea that women aren't allowed in Star Wars is the most ridiculous thing I have seen out of this whole discussion. Is people saying that it should have been Han Solo. I should have been able to choose a male figure because I'm insecure in my little incel basement. Meh. So, that's my rant on what was your original question? Something about are all the bad reviews an exaggeration? Yes, all the bad reviews are an exaggeration. There are flaws in this game. There are flaws in this game. There are bugs. There are visual anomalies. Sometimes the takedowns can be a little wonky. The AI is a little stupid in areas. And who cares? It's a video game. But I think that the difference is between the people who are actually playing the game and reviewing the game versus the people who won't even play the game, and yet they're calling it a bad game because of all these reasons that they've made up. And then the gall of people to come on, and they go around the internet trying to spread all this disinformation or come on videos like mine, which I'm totally pointing that out as a point of reference because they don't want anybody else to play the game, to the point where if you are enjoying the game, you're being told that you have a pro Star Wars agenda. And it's like, no, I just have a fun agenda. I like to have fun, and I love Star Wars, and you cannot take that away from me. I don't care if it's lightsabers or blasters. I don't care if I'm playing Kves or Han Solo or Luke Skywalker or Cal Kestis or Darth Vader or any the characters in Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2, the multiple characters I have in Star Wars: The Old Republic. When I've played back in the day, playing like X-Wing, TIE Fighter, X-Wing Alliance, Dash Rendar. Why am I blanking on Sam Witwer's character in the two ones that he did where he was Darth Vader's apprentice? Those games. Like, I don't care who I play in Star Wars. I don't care what game it is in Star Wars. I am a Star Wars fan, and I'm going to play those games. And I'm going to watch those movies. And I will critique the things that I don't necessarily like. Force Unleashed, thank you. Because I will call out the Revenge of the last the last movie that they did, where like Palpatine's back. No, that sucked. It sucked. But it is what it is. Like, it's part of Star Wars canon, and I take it, because it's not my IP to do what, it's not mine. Like, I'm not the creator, I'm not the owner, I'm not the shepherd of that IP, so I have no right to dictate what does or doesn't happen with the franchise. I can either continue to enjoy it as a fan, or I can move off and find other things that take up my time. I, however, firmly believe it's literally, this is the funniest thing, guys. If you apply the words of, like, in fear leads to anger, anger leads to, it's like fear leads to anger, fear of Disney, fear of Ubisoft, fear of female protagonists. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. The path of the dark side. It's literally right there in the fucking canon of the Jedi Order. Like, how more blatant can you get? It's hilarious. I love it. It's you got me off on a tangent, everybody. I'm totally going to timestamp this to pull this out. Rant